Hello, I'm Emily. I'm a homeschool mom of 3 kiddos. They are 9 and 6 and 2. And today I'm going to talk about maybe my favorite thing with homeschooling, which is read aloud books. So what are read alouds? We all read to our kids when they're little. We read picture books and those first reader books, and we read all the time. My 2-year-old now, I think we're reading Pete the Cat on repeat. But then it seems like they get to an age, kindergarten, first grade, where they start to be able to read, and a lot of us stop reading. I did with my daughter for a year or so. Then I read this book called The Read Aloud Revival, and I will link it in the notes, and it kind of changed my view on reading to kids. I mean, I like to be read to. I'm constantly listening to, books on Audible or podcast. So why do we stop reading to children? So about 2 years ago, and my daughter was actually still in public school at that time, we started doing read aloud books. I wasn't sure how it would go, and it went great. The first read aloud that we did was Boxcar Children, and my kids loved it. So this has become a really important part of our homeschool curriculum. So today I'm going to share some of our favorite books from last year, and then some clips of what we do after we read our book, which is we have a book day, and that's my kids' favorite part. We do activities related to the book. There's been a few books where it's been like an all-day thing, other days where it's just been a 1 or 2 hour activity that we've done related to the books. These are not all the books that we read last year, but they're definitely our favorites. And then I'm also going to share our books that are on our list to read this year. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around so I can show you guys the books. These were our favorites from last year. Charlotte's Web is what we started the year with. Oh, such a beautiful story and book. It's the Great American Read. I read this as a kid. So many fun activities. We did an entire Charlotte's Web day. The movie with real people, not the cartoon, is extremely excellent, and it follows the book very, very closely, which many movies based on books do not. I highly recommend this if you've not done this one yet. Dr. Dolittle, such a fun book. We love this one as well. Just FYI, unless you're watching the old movie from, I think, the 1960s, the movies do not follow this book at all, but they're still fun movies. Little Pear. This was a recommended Sonlight read. I never heard of it. I wasn't sure we'd like it. We loved it. My son Chase, who's 6, he still talks about things from the book and talks about things Little Pear did. So really, really good book. Homer Price. This was probably my favorite book of last year, other than Charlotte's Web. I'd never read this as a kid. Such a fun book. We did some super fun activities. We really, really enjoyed Homer Price. And then Alice in the Family. The last one, a great story. This is not too long of a book. Has a wonderful ending. We liked it. The other book that I don't have because I borrowed from the library that was a favorite last year was Mr. Popper's Penguins. That book is fantastic. The movie is also super cute, but does not follow the book at all. Just FYI, but it was a favorite. So these were we did other books last year, but these were our favorites. These books here, and then Mr. Popper's Penguins. What is today, Kennedy?
It's Charlotte's Web Day!
Why are we having Charlotte's Web Day?
Because we finally finished the book.
You finished your book? Tell me where's Wilbur?
Where's Wilbur? Right here.
Yeah, and who else do we have in the farm?
We have the horses, the cows, the geese and chickens, and then we have Charlotte right there.
Yeah, who's that man?
That's Mr. Abel.
Yeah. And the geese. We're missing a few of them. Who are we missing?
We're missing
The rat.
and
Templeton. The sheep. Yeah,
and
we didn't have those guys, did we?
Nope.
Yeah. Are you excited for the cupcakes?
Yeah.
What are these things called?
Pigs in a blanket.
Little baby pigs in a blanket.
And that's what we even made pig cupcakes.
You see? Okay, so lastly, I'm going to share with you our Read Aloud selections for this year. Most of these are reader books that are suggested from Sonlight, and I will link that in my reader notes. I love using Sonlight because some of these books I've heard of and some of them I have not, and just looking on their site, looking at the reviews has been so helpful. I love reading books aloud to my kids that I've never read and being just as involved in the book as they are. So we're starting off the year here with this book. It's called Adventure with Waffles. So that's what we are reading currently. We have Red Sails to Capri. I would never pick this book. It's highly been recommended to me by other people and then by Sonlight. Henry Huggins, very classic book. Harriet the Spy. I loved this book as a kid, so I'm super excited. I have all these like really fun spy activities planned for this book. I can't wait. And I've heard there's a good movie. Whether it follows the book, I'm not sure. Happy Times and Noisy Village. The Year of Miss Agnes. I had planned to read this last year. It was on our list, and then we kind of improvised and added some books like Dr. Dolittle, and we didn't get to it, so it's still in our Read Aloud book for this stack for this year. Sarah Whitaker's Story. This is a possibility this year as well because of Winn-Dixie. I think there's a movie as well on this. Lots of fun activities I've seen on Pinterest for this book. And then Little House on the Prairie. I can't wait to read to my kids this book. I think they're really going to enjoy it, and I have some fun activities I've already thought of for it as well. And then the last one was Who Was Walt Disney? If you know us, you know that we're big Disney fans. So this is gonna be a fun book, and then we're gonna do like a Disney day. If you know me, you know that we go to Disney once or twice a year, but with the pandemic, I just don't see that happening, not this fall for sure. So we're gonna learn about Walt Disney and hopefully have a fun Disney day. So these are our choices so far this year. There may be a book that I see or gets suggested to me and I may mix it up or add something else, but this is what I have planned so far.